one way and hard the other.
Then.
Kick me.
Oh, like me. Stop! Stop it! Stop filming me!
I never noticed that. It's 2007, man. Come on.
Go. Is it me, or does it feel that every year that TFNation happens, the weekend gets quicker and quicker, or shorter and shorter? Because this one flew by, and I mean flew by. So this year TFN was a little earlier than usual. It was the 31st of July to the 2nd of August. I was with my usual crew. We were staying pretty much all in the same hotel, I think, and driving over to the Hilton each day. I only did the Saturday and Sunday ticketed events. I was there for the Friday, but only really just to socialise with everyone else. So I did Saturday, regular access, no early access this time, the Vince DiCola concert in the evening. I didn't do ClubCon, which was a break from the norm for me, and the full Sunday programme as well. I feel like this year I really focused in on socialising. I only went to 3 panels, which were all guest related, but otherwise I was just hanging out with people in the bar or in the trader hall. There are a lot of people who recognise me this year, which always surprises me somehow. A lot of regulars, people I'd seen before, and a bunch of newcomers. I think there were a few who were doing TFNation for the first time. I'm unsure of his name. I know he's probably watching, and so I apologise, but I don't want to get your name wrong if I am not correct on this. But one lad had brought some really cool customs that he'd made. He brought the oversized knockoff version of Studio Series concept Megatron, done up as Shattered Glass Megatron, a kind of knockoff Lego Shattered Glass Treadshot, and a Lego Papercraft hybrid build of Hoist. But man, it was so cool to see like real tangible art. I didn't go to see that many panels, and I feel like I would like to change that for next year. If I can plan my day around the panels that I want to see and really making those a priority, I think that I will probably get slightly better value for money, at least, you know, for me at least. I wasn't buying much in the trader hall, kind of similar to last year. I think generally reprioritizing what I'm doing at TFNation just makes sense. I'd rather not just waste an hour or 2 hours of, you know, the ticket that I've bought, just scavenging the trader hall in the hopes that I might find something that I might like, you know. I'll quickly go over the guests that were there this year. We had Jessica Carroll and James Alexander, who were voice actors on Transformers Cyberworld. We had Darren Norris, who was the voice of Knockout in Transformers Prime, and Vince DiCola, who was the composer for Transformers the movie, as well as Rocky 4 and a few other like game projects. I only got to meet James Alexander in person. Everyone else I just didn't have the time for. But it was great getting to speak with him, because he and Jessica Carroll are represented by a voiceover agency that I'm really eager to get in with. But it was good to chat to him just about voiceover generally, and like how he was enjoying the convention and stuff like that. So I got his business card, hopefully a good contact to keep for the future. I did try to get to Darren Norris on the Sunday, but there was some like weird queue shenanigans which happened, and this is in like the last hour of Sunday. I think what happened was like I was at where I thought the queue was sort of ending, and then there was some movement about, and then suddenly there's a whole other line extended off to the side. I'm like, what the? Okay, so that kind of soured me a bit on waiting. Like it's not the fault of Darren Norris or the staff or anything, but I'm just like, I've only got an hour left, and I'm gonna spend most of that queuing for one person. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just wander around and maybe interact with other people immediately. I don't really want to wait for that. I didn't do ClubCon this year, which was a big change for me, because I've always attended those, mainly because my group wasn't doing it either. I think there was more interest in seeing the Vince DiCola concert But speaking of the concert, oh my god, what an experience. Vince DiCola and the vocalist Jadelle, who was someone that he collaborated with before and kind of formed this great professional partnership with, had an hour set from about 9 o'clock on the Saturday evening, and he played music from Transformers the movie, the death of Optimus Prime from the reformatted edition of the soundtrack, some songs from Rocky 4, and as well as some music that he'd done for video games and stuff. Jadelle was on vocals, absolutely amazing. But oh my god, the hype, the energy that was in the room when they played Dare was absolutely amazing. Jadelle's vocals were amazing. You could see how Vince was just kind of in the zone. They were saying at his interview the following day that there were points where he was just closing his eyes and just playing and feeling the music, and just shows how connected he is to that. It was just such an electric energy in that room. What else did I get up to? I did some art commissions for people this year. I have really wanted to get back into doing like actual physical drawings, like pencil drawings, getting into markers. I got myself a sketchbook from Hobbycraft a few months ago, and I just started sketching things that I like. So fun little Skywalk there, Splendid Convoy, some abandoned ones, Cliff Jumper. It got to a point where I felt like I'd found a style that I really liked working with, and so I just kind of opened up to my group as like a few commission slots, tenner for kind of headshot sort of thing. And I did 3 of those. I did the Universo 3 yellow Optimus Prime for Keej, I did Cybertron Optimus Prime for James, and I did Prime Knockout for Joe Valk, which he got signed by Darren Norris. But I've really enjoyed getting back into art recently. It's been a rough year, and it feels like a really good kind of creative outlet, a sort of therapeutic creative outlet. It's my own kind of little resistance against this just onslaught of horrible, awful AI images that are just pervading the internet. I also drew a little warpath while I was in the queue for the Saturday Trader Hall opening, which took me about 45 minutes to sketch that out. Just stood there with Jack, who is a tremendous Warpath fan, and of course he prompted me to do that, so lovely bit of pencil sketch there. I think this is one that I'm going to do some pens for as I'm going to get the time. The postcards went down a treat. We had 3 brand new designs which featured original art done by Mason, which he cooked up in about a day. Like 3 individual art pieces in 24 hours is insane. I think most of them had gone by the end of Friday, or at the very least kind of before Saturday midday. I think it would be a shame to not bring them back for next year, but I'm also thinking about what other things I could do as convention memorabilia and freebies. I would like to do a zine of my own at some point. I have ideas for what that would look like. It's just motivating myself to actually do something about that and action it. The Throttlebot Rally made its return. This is the 3rd year that we've done it, and it has changed a little bit since that first tryout. First time it was kind of this frenetic, I don't know what to call it, like NASCAR kind of thing, where everyone's just racing against each other at the same time to kind of hit the target. The year after that, we kind of did it one by one. This year we played it a bit like golf, so there were some more obstacles in the way. You were scored by how many shots you took on the target, and we had a lot of people participating. I mean, a lot of people came to watch, but quite a few people who were kind of new to it came along and wanted to play. I believe the prize was a custom painted Blocky's Unicron head that Matt had done, so it was this kind of his brainchild, as in previous years. And it was a great time. I played with Throttlebot Wide Load, which had a machete, kind of blue tack to the side, as well as a Gatling gun from Legacy Skyquake. There was a G2 Bullet Bike or 2, which managed to end up in the mix, and I think that one did pretty well. Matt and I have been talking about what the rally could look like next year, because it's great as a kind of icebreaker event for the Friday. So we'll see how it develops in the future. But it's a really nice thing to do, especially because the bar is so crowded, to kind of get away from the noise and the chaos there, and to have something where you can, everyone is kind of doing an event all at the same time. It's something about that just really brings people together. Like sport. Let's talk purchases. I believe for the first time ever, I didn't make a single purchase in the trader hall with my card. I think everything I did was cash, and I'm very pleased for that. I think there is a very strong danger that when you've got your phone or your card to hand and you can just do tap and go, that it kind of diminishes the value of the stuff that you're buying, and it just makes it so easy just to say, oh, that doesn't count towards the budget. I wanted everything to count towards that, and I ended up with about 60 quid in cash left over. So I barely dipped into the overflow that I had allotted myself. And I'm very proud of myself there. But truthfully, a bunch of the things that were on my wish list were either covered by pre-orders or very generously gifted to me. And I'll show you those shortly. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to go through the Forge items and the non-toy pickups. So, in no particular order, I got this little sticker from James Alexander. He had a bunch of these on his table, and he handed one to me. Very cute little Cyberworld Megatron. I'm running out of space on my laptop to put these stickers. I've got to find new surfaces for them. And speaking of stickers, I went to Abby Bulmer's stand in the Forge area, and got this selection of Constructicons and Devastator. I love them. They're so cute. Got to find a surface that these are going to go on. I'm trying not to be too precious about stickers. Like, they need to go somewhere. But I'm sure in time I will find somewhere for these guys. So thank you, Abby. This was my Throttlebot Rally scorecard. My score was 5. Because I'm terrible at golf, my Throttlebot was named Wide Load with a Knife. Some collectible cards here. I cannot remember who gave these to me. They had I met them in the trader hall on the Sunday, and they had several boxes of these collectible cards, and they are images and stills from either Transformers 1 or the Skybound universe. There's some really fun lenticular ones in here as well. There's a Slipstream. I think I've got one more, which flips like that, and it changes between the vehicle mode and the robot mode, which is very, very cool. They gave me a whole box, and I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened to it. I did hand out some more to my mates, but I don't know what happened to it after that. I'm very, very sorry. As ever, Barry Shaw, who sold me the Cybertron clock a year or two ago, wrangled me with his perfect salesman skills, and sold me this credit card holder wallet thing. Very cool. He had several designs. There was his Optimus, there was a Megatron, there was Maxwell's and Predacons, and there was also the Mercenaries as well, the Siege War for Cybertron era Mercenaries. There was a design for those. But I have a lot of cards, like loyalty cards, equity card, things like that, which need a proper place to be stored, and this is perfect for that. So thank you, Barry, master salesman you. Some postcards, very nice design here from Ryan Button, and this new design of, I believe that's G1 Road Grabber from Graham Thompson, who runs the Transformers UK guide. Some pins, another one from Ryan Button, this Megatron getting reformatted by Unicron. This was a design by Jake LaBombarde. I think that's how you say your name, I'm sorry. Which one of my friends gave to me because it is Shatterglass / Action Master Thundercracker. Ironically, this is one of the Shatterglass designs that I really don't like. But his wings are in a cute little heart there. They had several designs for this. There was I think most of the Seekers, but they also had them in various pride flags, which was really cool. And then this pin was official TFN merch. This is the kind of 10th anniversary pin, which I had to get because I have been to every single main TFNation event since it started in 2016. I am brand loyal. I also got, oh yes, this was quite a find. I ran into a chap called Ben, and Ben was the main creator behind the fan animation Transformers Prime Crashed, which is featured as part of the Transformers Pilot Compendium. This is a Blu-ray physical release of a bunch of Transformers fan animated pilots. So we got Transformers 99, Transformers Rust, Crashed, Cybertron Falls is featured on here, Transformers Adrift, which I believe, yeah, that Sheep Wielders thing. As he does every year, Ben Watson made a fantastic zine. This was one that I think really meant a lot to him. It's called Legends of Cybertron, and it is a catalogue of all of the legend scale figures that were released in the Cybertron lines. They've all got their tech spec entries, as well as a big old bio. I've not had a proper opportunity to read this, so once this video is done, I can finally get round to that. And the final bit of written material that I got, if you are aware of TM UK and their relationship with Toy Fu and the work they do for Mary's Meals, you're probably already aware of that by now. But they, for the last few years, have produced a Thunderclash and Turbo Masters themed comic zine, and this year they released The Hunt for Hyperdrive. A lot of incredible contributors this year. Oh, I forgot about this first page. I'd seen a preview of it, but an alternate universe where Megatron is fighting Rodimus Prime, but he looks like the Energon Rodimus Prime, and that's so cool! It's so good to see it drawn in like a really good way with proper proportions. Can you see me progressively getting sweatier and sweatier? I saw this piece on Blue Sky a few months ago, and I was really taken by the look of it. I believe it is pencil or charcoal, but this was done by Lee Licorice. They did an exclusive limited run of 10 of these prints of Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, Shockwave, and Ravage and Laserbeak back there. What else can I say? It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I really want to get this on the wall somewhere. It's just so striking, so beautiful. I did get some art commissioned just for myself, naturally, because I love doing that. I went to Ryan Button again for this lovely little shattered glass hot rod with, I believe what I said was the most shit-eatingest grin that he could do, which is captured perfectly. I love that he's also put the saw in there as well. Just the most evilest of evil bastards. And since I didn't do a video about the Reading Minicon, I don't think many people have kind of seen the lineup for this, but for the Reading Minicon, I commissioned Nick Roche to do Cup and Cliff Jumper from Broken Mirror, and this year I asked Jean-Paul Beauvais to colour it for me, and this is how it turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. So bold. I love the background as well, this kind of like paint wash sort of effect, but they're just so vibrant. I was really excited to get colours done for Nick's line work because it was absolutely amazing. He just did a marvellous job with it. I'm really happy with that. So thank you, Ryan, thank you, JP, thank you, Nick, for these wonderful pieces. Right, it's gotten too hot in here. I need a break. So I got to the hotel on Friday at about 3 o'clock. Because I wasn't doing any of the ticketed Friday events, I didn't feel like I needed to get there particularly early. I got to the hotel, I walk in, and within about an hour I am buried, quite literally buried, in things that I have pre-ordered from friends, and some very generous gifts, and some lucky dip drawers from various plastic bags. So let's go through those in no particular order. This is Universe Onslaught, which is a repaint of the Cybertron Defense Red Alert. This was sold to me by Mr. Keege TV. Very simple to get that converted. There you go, nice and easy. I miss this era of repaints, which was mainly just done to maintain the hold on a trademark, but it's an alt mode that quite suits him, and it would have been really nice to see this done in the full scale figure. I think I know he got a toy in the Classics Universe line, whatever that was, and he was his own unique mold, but this really suits Onslaught. It says SWAT on the side of his vehicle mode. And it's not exactly inaccurate if your special weapon happens to be a thermonuclear warhead which can also convert into a laser cannon. Daft little thing. Our mate John sold me the APC remake, or knockoff if you want to call it that, of Prime Bulkhead. I do have the original here as well. You can see the colour differences already. Unfortunately, this one is really starting to show the ravages of time, and has done for quite a while. The mushroom peg inside his arm, and I understand this is a fairly common issue, is showing a lot of signs of stress. And I fear that the next time that I try to move this arm, it is going to give. So I got this fella. I have had my eye on trying to get one for a while. It is so good. The joint tolerances are so much better just everywhere, but especially the arms. He's got light piping in his head, which the original didn't have. I've not got the best angle for it, but trust me. He has 2 of the wrecking balls, 2 of the arm cannons. I've got the Forge of Solus Prime here as well. I don't know. I'm told that this also had a kind of bumper piece or 2 which you removed from the transformation. John didn't have that. I think he might be looking for it for me. But it doesn't really make much of a difference because, you know, it's end of the day that's the same figure as the original, and the original didn't have that bumper piece, so I don't mind. But if I find it, that's great. But this is wonderful. He came to the convention with me, I think every day, just in my bag as a toy to fiddle with. Just great, just so much fun. I really like this. Sky had a little lucky dip bag, which they offered to everyone, and I stuck my hand in, and Keach turned to me just before I put my hand in there. I was like, trust me, just first thing that you find in there, just take it, trust me on that. I was like, alright. And I pulled out Legacy Prime Skyquake. Interesting, because me and Sky and I think one other person were after the APC Skyquake. This has kind of nullified my need for that, at least temporarily. It was quite fun. This was another one that I took around for a little while. I've not transformed it more than once since I got it, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's a very generous thing to put in a lucky dip bag. Although I know that Sky was very keen to get rid of it ahead of the convention, but thank you very much, Sky. I think this was a lucky dip bag from Matt. It might have been someone else, but I ended up with Alternator Swindle. I have been getting into alternators over the last couple of years, usually getting like a figure per convention. I recently got Kiss Players Rodimus, which was sent to me via Keege from the Manchester Minicon earlier this year. I have Shock Blast, and I have Silver Streak, and now I have this, and it is a fine figure. It is somewhat limited, as a lot of the alternators figures are. No kind of bicep rotation or anything like that. Their head's a little weird. It just sort of floats in there, in the neck, just not really attached to anything, and it's very easy for it to just like sink. But it does have working suspension on all of the tires actually, and that is extremely cool. So I'm displaying pretty much all of my alternators apart from Rodimus in their alt modes. So once I'm done with this video, I think he's going to go back to vehicle mode, and then he's going to go on display. 2 things that I pre-ordered from Matt: the Cosmic Conquer, Dramatic Capture mainframe. I sold the Kingdom Arc a month or 2 ago because it was taking up far too much space and I wasn't really enjoying it, but I did want mainframe for the Lost Light shelf, so he sold this and another figure to me for 60 quid total. It is a computer. The other one that he sold me as part of that bundle was Combiner Hunters Chromia. I have the original 330 version. I've always been quite taken by this colour scheme. It's very strange. You also might notice, yes, I have put a Shattered Glass Autobot symbol on there. I really like the Tron Light Cycle mode that this mould has. I like the big old sword. The implication of the markings on there is that she's killed 5 Devastators. But yeah, it's just a very interesting, funky colour scheme. Very pretty, and yeah, I think a decent bargain for those two, so thank you, Matt. And the final thing that I received on Friday in terms of toys was a very generous gift from James Lenigan, JL Workshops on YouTube. He acquired for me something that has been on my wish list for a couple of years, and I was looking for one. I think this year I figured I might get one of the repaints. What I was not expecting was an original Cybertron Vector Prime, still with its box. It has been opened, so it is not mint in sealed box. I don't know if like Safeguard and the Cyber Key have been moved, but it is in excellent condition. I've not taken it out of the box since I got it. This is another one that I'm going to do once I have done this video. I don't want to ask how much he spent to acquire one of these, because I've seen what they go for on the aftermarket, and it is insane. An incredibly generous gift from James. I owned this particular figure many years ago, sold it for God knows what reason. Very glad to have it back in my possession, and in the box, it's got everything. It's got a character bio. God, do you remember when they sold us toys with personalities and not just, remember this guy from the cartoon? It's like, here is this character, here is some information about them, let your imagination run wild. No, everything is just product for collectors. Saturday rolls around, the trader hall opens, in I go. I get on with doing my traditional circuit of the hall before I actually buy anything. I barely make it halfway before I come across my mate Mike's stand, and he has the Unite Warriors Wandering Roller for 65 quid. Not one that I was hunting for. An absolutely beautiful thing. I kind of forgotten that it existed. That's just such a unique and vibrant colour scheme. The dark green against that orange is just magnificent, and I didn't doubt for a second that this was the only one that I would probably find at the convention, and it is such a unique and rare item, I could not say no. Stunning boy, pretty. Headed over to the Space Bridge and picked up a G1 roll bar, so more progress on collecting the full set of throttle bots. Prior to TFN this year, I had collected Goldbug, Wide Load and Freeway, mainly for the Throttlebot Rally, and then it turns out that I really liked them and I wanted to get the full set, so I added Rollbar to my selection. Very happy to have this. He's in great condition. I think this was the best one that Paul had on his table. This next one was a pre-order, which is the first time that I've been able to do that with a vendor at TFN. Primetime Toys sells a lot of third-party knockoff figures, oversized and mini, like variety of scales, and just in the nick of time for TFNation, their stock of the shattered glass version of APC Prime came in. I leapt on that as soon as that came through. A beautiful, beautiful toy. He has all the same accessories as the other releases, so 2 blasters, 2 swords, the Star Saber, which for some reason the pommel was glued on, don't know why, the alternate faceplate, and the mount on the back for the Star Saber. A lot of my group was very keen to get their hands on one of these, and I think all of these are gone from Primetime Toys by the end of the weekend. I think the only thing I'm not so keen on are the tattoos on his arms there. They just seem so hilariously edgy. But I don't know. Depending on what I do with this, and there's no guarantee that this is going to be Shatterglass Prime in the future, I may or may not get rid of them. I am so happy to have this at last after waiting. God, they've had this advertised for years on like Show Z. And it's real. It's finally real. This isn't really a toy. It's certainly not a Transformer, but if you know me, you know that I am a massive Star Trek fan. And for the first time in my life, I own a model of the Refit Enterprise from the movies. I've been a Trek fan for over 20 years, and I've never owned this version of the Enterprise, and I'm really happy that I finally do. Running out of space to display my Star Trek ships, but I needed to own this version. It's one of the most beautiful renditions of the USS Enterprise that was ever put to screen. Sunday was interesting because I only bought 2 robots from the trader hall, and yet I ended up with 5 by the end of that day. I think that's mainly because I spent a lot of time and money in the forge area, you know, picking up art prints and stickers and badges and all that kind of stuff. I picked up Searchlight to add a 5th member to the throttle box. I'm now just missing Chase. This was a pickup from Toy Fu. He is a little worse for wear. He's missing a sticker on one side. He's very grimy and very rusty in some places, so he is in very desperate need of a good bath before he goes on display anywhere. The other bot that I bought in the trailer hall was Power the Prime's Beachcomber. I had one of these a few years ago. I sold it to make way for the Legacy figure. The Legacy figure started melting plastic around it, and as soon as it did that to one of my figures, I was like, you're out, you're done. This is so much more charming to me, and it has a play feature. I don't mind that it doesn't have wrist articulation. It's got pretty much everything else, and you can put a little guy in the driver's seat and you can drive him around, and that's great. That's what toys are for, to play with. I am not the one who needs to make another video essay about how the Transformers brand is dying. Leave that to someone else. I'm here to make a film every 3 years. After that, the trader hall closes. I've done my best. I couldn't find anything else I wanted to buy. We're back in the bar area, and there is a lot more toy trading going on. There was a kind of a lucky dip blind bag that my mate Jack was doing. I can't remember what I reached in for the first time, but I don't think I liked it all that much. He was very gracious and let me have a second go. And I pulled out Beast Hunter's Crockout, toy I've owned before and I sold, and then I got the Takara version of Bloody Knockout. And here he is again. It is fine. It is a toy that existed. It's kind of cool. And now it's back with me. I'm not ungrateful. Other Joe, Valk, picked up a figure in the bar, which I was quite taken by, and he was very generous in just saying that I could have it, just like, do you want it? Because it's a figure that I have never owned in my life, a mold that I've never encountered in my life. This is the movie Bone Crusher, but specifically this is the Takara version. I don't know if there's any real paint differences between this and the Hasbro, and this is the original 2007 release. This isn't Movie the Best, but it is not great. But it is one of those figures that I've always had a bit of curiosity about, and I played with it. I really enjoy the kind of the grabby arm mechanism, the automorph gimmick on the mine clearer claw. It doesn't pose all that well. It's a fun little vehicle mode. I don't know, man. It's the first time I've ever owned this mold. I am kind of charmed by it, but I also acknowledge that it is not particularly great either. Where's it going on the movie shelf? I don't know. And last but by no means least, I cannot escape Blockies. Someone was very generous in giving me the first Blockies Wheels figure I've had. This is Huffer, who is just a repaint of Pipes, which is very heavily based on the More Than Meets the Eye version of the character, of his kind of Cybertronic vehicle mode. I do really like it. That's very cute. It's a really fun little shape. Yeah, that rolls really nice. I still do not have any intention of getting into Blockies Wheels, but this is a very nice little taster of what they're all about, and it is really cute, really cool. And there you go. That was everything that I bought at TFNation 2026. I had a great time. I had a really, really great time being with all my friends, meeting all the people that I met. I'd say meeting all the guests that I met, but I only met one. But it is, as always, just a joy to be in that space. And I'm really excited for 2027. They haven't announced a date for it yet, because they are looking at expanding the convention even more within the Hilton Hotel. And the reason they can't give a date for that is because if they are going to expand and take up another hall, they cannot guarantee the typical dates that we get for the convention each year, which is usually early to mid-August. How far that kind of bumps it up and down the calendar, we don't know yet, but I have every intention of being there, because 2027 we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the live action Transformers film. Oh my god, it has been that long. I'm extremely excited though for what this means for the convention. Obviously the live action film was what brought myself and many people into the Transformers franchise in the first place, and I'm excited to celebrate that, excited to find out more about what they've got planned. I would imagine that some of the guests that are invited would be relevant to the anniversary. I would be extremely surprised if Peter Cullen made an appearance purely because of his age. I don't think that Hugo Weaving would turn up for this because he is notorious for not really caring about the Megatron role. My money is on Jess Harnell and or Charlie Adler being in the guest lineup. So that would be Ironhide and Starscream. And why them? Because they are voice actors outside of Transformers. Jess Harnell has done stuff for Animaniacs, Charlie Adler has done stuff for all sorts of properties. I feel that those are the most likely big name candidates for guest roles that we are probably going to get. But it's going to be a good time, and this year was a good time. Big thank you again to all my mates in the kind of the Crosshairs Infinity Sun conglomerate, who I always spend time with, and it's always such a joy being with you guys. Thank you to everyone who came and said hi, for everyone who showed me the stuff that they had made, or just came and said that they really enjoyed the films that I had made. It's always extremely humbling when people do come and tell me that. A big thanks as well to the TFN organisers, to David, Billy, Andy Turnbull, all of the volunteers, everyone who helped make all the cogs in the great TFNation machine keep on turning throughout the weekend. You are all amazing. But let's leave it there, because I've got so much to edit and I'm already really warm and sweaty again. So until next time, guys, I will see you later.